Hey, they started. All right, everybody. CATAN Community Open Tournament number 14 final table. They've started. It's good to go. We've got the Seb here on orange, Queenie on green, Merlin on black, Gans on red. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't ready for the game to start, but they started already. Center Desert, 9, 6, 10 to start. They were supposed to ping me when they started, and they had pinged me once. But then I stepped away and they came back and said, we already started. I was going to do a stretch break and everything. But yeah, we're good to go. Center Desert always makes for interesting games. Opting not to take the 8, 5, 10, getting the ore first. Lots of wheat on this board here. 8, 10, 11. Rare ore here, 6, 4, 2. That's going to be a tough one to get. Brick's going to be a little bit short too with a 3, 10, 11. And of course, you've got sheep out there. They're always out there. Second position here, it's going to be Queenie first. All tough competitors here, winning their way here. Over 150 competitors to get into the CATAN community. It is the 8, 5, 10 for production first. The question is, do they go for that wood port or do they try to race for this? 3 to 1 here. It does look like the Seb is maybe trying to play a sheep port game here too. Can't be too upset about that. They point south, which is going to be interesting because a 3, 4, 5 is going to be here too, and there's possibility that there's going to be a race here or some sort of a situation that cuts back here. Merlin here on black next. Let's see what they decide to do. Wheat sheep over here, but it's going to be tough without the ore here. So the 3, 4, 5 may be a spot. 9, 5, 10 if you want that production and that 3 to 1. But again, these resources don't make anything on their own. You've got to have a really good secondary placement here. Now, depending on how it places out with the Center Desert, you have lots of these triple hex spots, and it could depend. You could find everybody with a triple hex spot going all the way around. And it's a little bit tougher to get longest road because usually your two settlements are on opposite sides of each other. That's usually kind of how it works out. But if you do end up with two that are fairly close for whatever reason, then you can start thinking about those longest roads, or if you just have really good road production. Now, keeping in mind, the Seb will want some wheat to shore things up here. And what will Queenie want? Queenie will probably want to get on some ore and some sheep. That's not a bad spot to follow up here, especially if the 9, 5, 10 and you got 6, 4, 3. Yeah, 6, 4, 3 pointing down is not bad. This race here, this is going to be a highly contested spot between Merlin and Queenie here. So I like this pick here. Again, same idea as first position, is there's probably going to be some wheat somewhere, depending on where it goes. 9, 5, 10's got to be taken. So maybe it's an 8, 4, 11 pointing out to the wheat port here. But then you can still pick up something else on the other sides for wheat. You're probably going to get some wheat out there, and it's probably going to be okay. So fourth position here depends what they want. They might start without brick. That might be the only thing. I do think maybe here we are going for the 3 to 1 and the wheat port position here. And you're just building around with potential for longest road or something like that in here. Now, the only thing that you're going to miss out on is the ore. And I'm not sure how you feel about that. So they may end up taking the 8, 4, 11. I don't know. Maybe looking for the 9, 4, 2. Maybe pairing up on something like that. You do short yourself out a little bit on production, but that would be crazy if the 9, 5, 10 was not taken whatsoever. Now let's say we do go with the 9, 5, 10 here. We go to the 3 to 1 port. Maybe you start yourself off on something like the 3, 4, 11 just to get you a little bit of that extra brick to start, and then I'll help you with your 3 to 1 game. But your production, not necessarily great. 11, 12, 3, 4, 9, 5, 10. You're not on a 6 or an 8. Tough to play a 3 to 1 port production game when you don't have one of those big numbers. So maybe it's something like this. I mean, there is some appeal to starting off on the 311 just for that extra road, right? Your 9, 5, 10, you'll start off quick. I mean, it might even be an 8, 4, 11. Ooh, maybe they double up here. Maybe they just double up. And they start themselves off onto the wheat port. No, they take a 2 spot to start first. A 56 production with a rare ore and some rare wood here. What's that second spot going to be? I can't imagine it's going to be the 9, 5, 10 with a double up on the 5s here. You're going to start on 4 numbers, but maybe it is all that pure production for the 9-3, 9-5-10. It's going to be the wheat port. It's going to be the wheat port. So between the 8s and the 6s, maybe enough to get their cities down. I don't mind that at all for Gans again. Right? You're looking on 6s and 8s. High percentages to get those down here. So starting off already with the 2 wheat and a sheep here, a 6 would give you a dev card early if you want it, or you just hold up for those cities. Merlin here, like I said, the wheat's going to be open. The 9-5-10 just looks too good. But again, if there's a race that's happening over here, there is the potential to build something up here. Start with that early road. Pair up your 3s as well. That's a low-key bonus because the 3s are unlikely to be blocked here. Could it make it all the way back around? Is there another 9-5-10 over here? This cannot make it back to the Seb. No matter what happens, it cannot make it back to the Seb. Yeah, 9-5-10 is too good. The production, too strong. Now this does slow down the race for Merlin though. And that could mean that Queenie, you know, decides to start off over there too and maybe pushes for that. I don't know. Now you think Queenie here, if they start here, there is possibility that they build out to the 6 ore. So not all is lost. You don't have to go for this 9-4-2. It could be that 3-4-11 build over to the 6-3-12. Now I guess, are you racing against Gans here, who doesn't make any brick but might be able to trade for it? You think Seb is just gonna slap it down on the 8-3? That would be a bold move here. No wood for them. They do get that 8 wheat and the 6 ore here, but it does look more blockable. You know, compared to Gans's 8-6, 8 is less likely to be blocked unless they start sitting up here and have their settlement down. The 6 shared, unlikely to be blocked there. Queenie's got a tough spot here. Queenie has to decide if they want to get on ore, and sheep here. This does actually make up quite a few of Queenie's weaknesses here, but it doesn't help them get to this wood port. They could start with the road here, right, and try to build over, or just start here and then maybe go back over. Again, I don't think that's really good here, but that actually blocks out Gans from settling on there too. Worth a consideration here. Now going out this way is possible. I think, yeah, what's more likely is that Seb might do something like this and go for the wheat port here. Starting off with the 8-10, it is much harder to block both wheats, and then what's more likely is that they block the sheep or something else here. Wow, Queenie with the decision here. 15 seconds left. It's going to be the 9-4-2. It is going to be the 9-4-2. So they get their ore, they get a little bit of bonus, and they start off with some sheep. Now starting off with 2 ore is nice. 1 more 4 and a couple of these 8s. That's an early city as well. So you got to look out for that. So going down to the 3-1, that's going to help out with the wood here. Doubling up on 5's not as great. It does seem to be a better spot for Merlin here on that wood port here. So the Seb, amazingly, might actually have a couple spots open up near the top here if they want it, but that's not their game. They need to get on this wheat here. Probably the best spots, what you see right now. It just depends what they want. Now, getting a little bit of extra wood here wouldn't hurt either to go with their brick, but that is going to be something that I think they can trade fairly reasonably. It's going to be some pretty good production out there for their wood. They just need to get to their sheep port and make sure that they can build cities, and I think the Seb is going to be in a fairly good spot. So the 9-6-10 was a pretty good spot to start with, because they are going to get some of this wheat for themselves. Just depends. Do they block green? Do they block Queenie and Merlin on this 8-3? It does stop them a little, and the extra brick honestly does not help them too much, and very little in terms of expansion prospects here. It is going to be all for this sheep port. Whereas if you build this 8-10, again, still not great for expansion prospects. There's not really going to be too much out there. Tough spot either way. It is going to be the 8-10, double up on the wheat. They point up. Placements are down. Final game. 11 hits first. That's going to be Gans with an early wheat. 6 for the ore to pair it up with. Gans is well on their way already. That's going to be a 6 as well for an extra wood out here. 4 out there is going to be ore, sheep. I mean, Gans can buy a development card early if they want, but they might even just hold for that early city. Merlin here is the first one with the dev card. Instead, another 6 follows up. You gotta believe that Gans here is considering the hold, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was a dev card here. And make it 2 as Gans goes back to back with those. The 9 follows up for sheep here. Fluffy's in on this game for sure. I mean, we can't doubt Gans. Gans had a really good start. 4 dev cards in the first round here as everybody buys out. It's going to be 10 brick, 10 wheat going out here. Seb, off to a pretty good start there, doubling up on the 10s. That looks pretty nice there. Another 9 means that there's more sheep to be traded here. Merlin here trying to get some of that brick here. They've got the wood. Brick is going to be one of those highly contested materials here. Again, 3, 10, and 11. You're lucky to get any on this one. So ports are going to play a big factor. You got to make some of those on your own, which means racing for longest road is going to be very tough, which is possibly why we see so many dev cards so early. I think in the best position could be Merlin if they get this port. They're going to have 65 wood. And they're going to be able to trade up, city up anytime those go up. I think Merlin's in a fairly reasonable spot if they get that port. I don't think it's that great if Queenie gets the wood port. It's a nice bonus for sure. The 7, it's going to be a knight first from Gans, blocking out the 10, blocking out the brick, slowing down the road players and the road settles here. It's going to be a steal from Seb first, who had some pretty good production. Seb has a fairly strong setup here, and you know, again, blocking the ore wheat sheep player and really stunting their growth is going to help out. Of course, that could also have been just a play to make them reveal their card to make sure that they do actually have a knight and not something else. The 5 rolls, but it's blocked. That's going to slow things down for Queenie here as they have 9 cards. Maybe that would have helped them out a little bit here. Gans trying to make the trade happen. I will give you the wheat, but it'll cost you an ore and a brick. Queenie wanting nothing to do with that, only 1-to-1 trades here. Currently can't read the number of dev cards. Same for the cards in the cities. Oh, something must have moved. I'll move that for you here. Let's move that here. Yeah, something changed in my setup here, so let's stretch it out for you. I think something... Oh, we cut it off. We straight up cut it off. Here, I'll fix that for you. I will fix that for you all here. That was the crop on the right. There we go. There we go. I'm a bit too zoomed in. I just want to be close up on the action, Ivy. Close up. I probably am zoomed in on the browser. Is that what it is? Oh, there it is. And I just uncropped and moved everything. I'm going to leave it. I'll leave it as is. You can all see it now. There we go. 9 rolls out. It was a 9 before that and an 8. Nobody got blocked out on that one. We had roads coming down here. Gans racing for the wheat port there. Really deciding that that is the race. Probably a good idea. You know, again, brick is blocked out here for the Seb, so it's unlikely that the Seb will actually get down there without a road building, without the year plenty, without anything like that. The Seb does trade out with Merlin, though. Oh, no! No. They drop the road down. They use the knight. They have to pull for it. Only 3 resources here. Did they get the right one? They did not. And unfortunately, Queenie still has 8 cards, so they're going to get robbered. But, folks, we've got a situation up here. On that 8 wheat port, we've got Gans and the Seb going head-to-head here. And that is a risk. That is a risk. Gans only with 2 resources. The Seb had 3. Played an aggressive knight. Maybe has 3 of the 4 resources they need to set it down. We'll have to keep close eye on that one. It's going to be Queenie with another development card on the back of that turn here. 5 rolls out. Don't forget the city that did go up while we were adjusting things. So Queenie definitely did get off to that early start. 8-5-10, one of the best spots that you can city up here. That might push them a little bit quicker to get down to this wood port here, and that's going to be really good for Queenie here, especially if they're tripled up on here. But I do think they will need to get to that 3-1 port at some point here. Back to Gans here, 3 resources. What's the play here? Well, it's got to be a roll here, and Gans does not get hit on that roll. Stuck with 3 resources, nothing going to happen there. It's going to be Merlin with 1 wood. The 6 getting blocked out for ore here. 5 after that, it's going to be wood for the table. Seb still on 3 resources now. Trying to trade a sheep for an ore. So maybe just looking for the dev card. Again, 2 knights played already for the Seb. No takers on that trade. Passes on for an 8. Wheat for all here. It's going to be closer and closer. You got to think Gans is close. They've got the wood. They've got the wheat. They've got the wood and the wheat, I think. I don't remember if they got the sheep here for Gans. Gans might have had it. Queenie trying to trade wood and wheat for a brick. Again, brick going to be tough to come by. I don't think Gans has any of that for sure. 10 was blocked for a while there, so it is going to be 4-1 for Queenie here. I'm looking over here for it. Again, another scary road here, as Merlin does have 2 cards, so you got to always be careful of that. Road building, double road into a settlement. Could get you. Queenie really thinking about it right now. Building to the 3-1 looks very passive. You know, there's not a great number there. You're doubling up on the 2, you get the extra 5. Oh, it is too. It's going to be the 3-1 port. They don't want the wood port or the 888, the 3 brick. The 2 does roll though, so maybe it is time to bank on those 2s. Merlin here. And they set the road down. And I think because they had 7 resource cards in hand, I think Queenie was a little bit afraid of putting that road down. But no settlement comes down. We could have had another situation on the west side of the island. Really big ports in this game. The wheat port here, the wood port less contested here, and the 6s now. We've lost about 6 ore between the 2 of them, maybe more here. Brick rolls out. That's going to be great for Queenie. Maybe some options to trade here. That might actually have given it to the Seb. The Seb might actually have it now. Queenie trying to go wood ore for wheat sheep. I don't think that's going to help Gans out any to get that settlement down. Now, who would you rather have this wheat port on the table? I'm not sure. Would you give it to the Seb or would you give it to Gans, or just let them come about it naturally? I don't think there's much manipulation here. If you want to give it to Gans, it has to be on this turn. The Seb trades out here. They get a wood and the ore, and it is going to be the road settled down. I'm going to give it to Queenie because that still counts. Building the road down south throws it off, and all of a sudden Merlin plowed to the wood port here, and even worse, adding salt to the wound, Merlin gets 7'd out Robert. Rough game for Merlin. 4 wood going back into the bank. Merlin dropping the road down. We had just thought that wasn't a situation any longer, but an instant road settle from Queenie, who puts themselves in a fairly good spot now. F indeed, Ivy. F indeed. That's a really tough spot to be in. The 3 comes out. It's going to be rare bricks out there as Queenie hits one of those as well. And all of a sudden, Queenie looks to be in a much better spot now if they can settle down. Gans, can they make it happen on this turn? They need it now, where I think the Seb has got it. Should have used one of the robbers. I mean, you got to think. What could have been? It's all about timing, isn't it? It's all about the timing. Gans here, really trying to make the trades work here. They are offering every single possible combination, and in the end, nothing happens. You saw it coming. The table didn't want to do anything about it. And the plow right over there. That's going to be the Seb down with a wheat port now, doubled up instantly on the 8 wheat plus the 10. I do think it was better. But the table did not want to give it over. Yo, Built, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the games. 5 rolls out here. That's going to be extra wood on the table. This does put Seb on a much better spot here, especially with all that extra wheat here. We'll probably look to city this up as soon as possible now, and I think that puts them in a great spot to play that ore wheat sheep style. And if they get that road settle, much better for the Seb. Probably unblockable by then, probably going to give him the game. So Queenie needs to get this production up going pretty quick here. And I'm not sure where they go next, to be honest. I think they may try to come back around for this 6 wood and maybe have a shot at this longest road here, because you want to get that extra wood production now that you happen to have the wood port. I think that's going to be Queenie's best bet. Now Merlin here, it's probably going to be a road settle down onto this brick port, probably a road settle here. There's no 3-to-1 here any longer, so Merlin is in an extremely tough spot. The rest of the table is probably likely to give Merlin a lot of trades, but not if they don't have cards. It's going to be Gans here in a tough spot now. No wheat port, having to build back up. At least it's a 3 hex spot and maybe even another 3 hex spot here before they get to the 3-to-1. But these numbers don't look to match up very well. So I think city up has got to be the first thing now. Without the port, usually your backup is city up first. And I think that's got to be the play. You know, you need to at least match in production if you don't have the economy, if you don't have that efficiency. Oh, but that's going to make it much tougher. That block onto the 8 here, as 2 knights are played for Seb, 1 for Queenie, and 2 for Gans here as well. That's kind of low key here. Gans will look to steal that on later on sometime here. Seeing the viewer count gives you GME flashbacks? Oh, shoot. I didn't get in on that. I wasn't in time there. Good luck to you all if you're in there. What's up, Konani? It is good to see everybody out here enjoying themselves on the weekend. Playing some games, having a good time. That's what it's all about. Merlin here on 8 cards. Road settle? That's not even the best spot for them. I'm not sure if that 9-11, maybe it gives them a little bit extra, but that might, I mean, open things up if they really want to stretch their way out. Kind of tough if they do. There's really not a great spot. Maybe even it is the double up on the 2. Get some extra ore in there. You know, Merlin's got to do whatever they can to get that up. It's going to be the knight over, and it's going to be the steal onto the Seb. Jake, oh, don't think Robinhood will prevent you from watching Hero stream. Hey, you know what? They have pull, okay? They might get in contact with Twitch. All of a sudden, I get banned. The entire channel is erased. Don't mention their name in here. Don't mention their name too loud. Gans here with 4 resources. I think they've got to look for this 6-3-12. It's not the best spot in the world. I don't know. Maybe they do go for this ore port. Maybe that's the pivot. But you got to think the 6-3-12 first into the port. And then maybe they come back and connect through here. Playing fully on the 6-5. Oh, Queenie! You know, if Queenie keeps 7ing out, this could be the Seb's game. Queenie's in a really good spot. Queenie's in a really good spot, if they want to be. But 4 cards back to the bank here. And it's going to be a block onto Queenie. Queenie's 8. The robber is just making its way back and forth between the two 8s here. 9 rolls out for a little bit of sheep. Those 7s hurt a lot. Last game, Lucchino got 26 cards blocked. I haven't been keeping track on this one, but you got to believe that people are going to get blocked out here. Gans wants to give 1 wood for 2 ore, so now that is that pivot to try and get the cities up to get that production up. Merlin wants to do it. Gans wants to do it. They don't want to do just a 1 for 1. Queenie ignores them both and buys a development card. It's going to be Merlin now thinking about it. And they're going to roll a 7. So many 7s in this game. The robber. Tons of movement going back and forth here. But that does slow the game down a little bit here. And yeah, it's going to come over just a little bit. You know, can't block. Not going for the wheat block here. Actually blocking Gans as well here. So maybe looking for a steal here of some sort, blocking some wood, maybe increasing the value of their wood for trade as well. I don't mind that block from Merlin to shut things down. It is a good block anyway onto Queenie, but it does help Merlin quite a bit as Merlin can maybe look to produce some of this wood and get some trades out for the things that they need. So the settlement does come down. Merlin is slowly making their way back into it. It's going to be a brick port, but that's not really important because they're only on a 3 brick, and it's unlikely that they'll actually make any trades off of it. The 9 for sheep here. Fluffy loves to see it. It's going to be a slow road here for the Seb. The Seb actually hasn't gotten too much achieved since building that wheat port here. You know, not as many 8s here. The 8s are pretty much going to be a wood here if they want it to be. But yeah, the sheep port I think is big. Even if they don't get this city up first, that road set will look pretty nice here. Gans now trading with the Seb. Dev cards for themselves here. They are on 2 knights. A rare 3 hits for the brick. Love to see it. The Seb here now, they have options, 5 cards. Trying to trade out for a brick or an ore. Tough going if it is just sheep offer. I don't think the 1-to-1 will be good enough. Oh, Queenie bought a dev card last turn. It's going to be the knight, and they move it all the way across. Again, back onto that 8 wheat. Nice spot there. It slows down Seb quite a bit, but Gans unfortunately gets hit on that one too, really slowing down the city production for them. Queenie not probably going to be able to do too much on this one with only the 2 resources here. It'll just be a pass it on after the roll here. Maybe looking to make some deals out of it. I'm not sure where they would go though. It's really just this 2-5. Oh, it is the 2. Queenie is making bank on these 2s. Ended up stealing from the Seb there. Maybe it was just looking through the history log to see what the Seb and Gans had. Gans only with the 1 card here. I think you have to steal from the Seb, who is, you know, kind of in a much better place than Gans here. 6 rolls out here, double wood here. That's going to look real nice as trading material there for Merlin. And then the 6 for ore might actually help Gans get to their city, but you know, they dev carded it out last time, so only on 2 resources now because of it. The Seb though, slowly banking up. They're at 5 resources, might get themselves up there. Looking for 2 wood here. Wants to give 2 wood for the ore. The ore instead trading for some other things. 2 for 2 maybe is Merlin's offer. It's gonna be a road. Trying to offer the road for double ore, but no. Gans is looking for ore, single ore for the road. And you know what? Gans is only at 2 points. It might even be okay. If this gets the city, I think that's okay. I'm not sure it does. It might just get a development card, to be honest. But even if they get the road, it's still not gonna accelerate their game that much. Merlin trying to make some trades happen, and between the 2 of them, I think Merlin and Gans should be trading with each other. You know, they'll give each other these mini kind of advantages to be able to build things on their turn, to be able to use their hand so that it doesn't get stuck. 7 rolls, 5 after that. The 8 blocked again here. Dev card out for the Seb. Don't let that go unnoticed. 6 after that. But if they keep trading with each other, they'll be able to give each other, you know, little advantages, and they'll come back into this game here. The game is not you know, that far out of reach here. Queenie did get another dev card on that one, and another 5 means a ton of wood production here for Merlin. And Merlin finds himself in the same spot, able to make some trades happen here and able to do something on this. So even without the wood port, yeah, it's going to be a 4-1 for the ore for themselves. Maybe they've got a year of plenty, and that's probably enough to get their city up. Now, part of me feels like the city goes up here, but that makes the 6 look really blockable. The ore is really nice, though, and the extra brick, whenever it does hit, is really nice. But maybe you just go for the production, but that 3-1's not there anymore. That's the tough part about this. You know, even if you do city up the 9-5-10, you're going to have a lot of cards in your hand. It might just mean that you just 7 out all the time here. They trade out. Merlin holds with 2 ore in hand now. 4-1, 4-1. They held it in. 9 for sheep again. Gans still trying to make something happen with their hand. Not a lot of buyers, not a lot of takers out there. But offering ore, again, offering it for brick here, really tough. Oh, trade goes through. Merlin makes the trade, so it is Gans and Merlin who go 1-1. That should give enough for Merlin to get a city here, as Gans slowly makes their way to that 6-3-12. Slow crawl, but it's the right direction. 9 again. Sheep. Fluffy loves to see it. The Seb locks down largest army now, plays that 3rd one, clears off the 8, moves it onto the 4. Maybe recognizing that Merlin is slowly coming back into this game. Still the steal from Queenie. And now the Seb here, still looking for anything to build a road settle or get that city up. It's been quiet here for the Seb, other than playing that knight out. So things have slowed down just a touch here. And the Seb here, still trying to make trades, but hard to get 1-for-1s when you just took largest army and are in the lead with 5 points here. Queenie at 4, Merlin at 3, and Gans still on the 1. The 7 rolls out immediately here for Queenie, who gets a free clear on the 4. It immediately goes back to the 8, unfortunately, and Seb locked down again. Despite having largest army, the 7s here have kept the robbers pretty consistently on the Seb's numbers. And the rest of the table here, you know, 2 knights, 1 knight, 2 knights here, they've been able to push the robber back onto them. Gans going 2-1. Oh, Gans going 1-for-2 here. Queenie thinks 2-for-2 is fair. It's been a while here. I mean, even if Queenie does get this up, I think the only thing they're likely to 3-1 is maybe their wheat. Or the sheep if they just keep getting those. The city up here is probably going to do them much, much better here. Merlin with the 7 now. Who did they block out? It might even be the brick block here to try and slow everyone else down. And it is going to still go back onto the wood here. I don't entirely agree with that one here, but I do get it. You know, Queenie here, if you block that one, they still have the 3 brick. Again, blocking Gans, I'm not too sure about. I'd rather block Seb. 10, 5. 5 is a little bit better production. I mean, it's a minor pick. 7 cards for Merlin, though. And they do have to kind of show their hand as to where they're building next. I do think a city is probably their best bet here, is to try and get something up. The other option is just to keep building up now. That or get on the 2. There's a small window here where they can get longest road too, just by connecting, extending a little bit. Or they connect here and they keep building out this way. And they could have longest road for themselves. Merlin does seem to be in the best spot, maybe to achieve that right now, just with their production and everything. Surprisingly, Merlin's got good production here with 3, 4, 5 at 6, 9, 10. But just getting cut off early onto that wood port made a huge difference. 7 rolls out again for Gans. No production. Goes over, steals from Queenie, and Seb is actually left free here. So Seb really wants this 8 to roll at some point. Gans here looking for the settlement. Wants to give wood for wheat here. Was trying to steal the wheat. Nothing in there for them. And surprisingly, you know, they're trying to trade for the wheat that they're on. The 8 wheat that they're on. Another 7. These 7s are out of control today. I gotta come up with another scene for 7s, you know? Just when like chain 7s keep rolling, I gotta come up with that. Maybe it's like a slot machine, you know, where it just keeps rolling, rolling, rolling. And there's just a whole bunch of 7s. I need to take up some animation and make those. The 4-1 there. Road finally comes down. And we're looking at the 9 there. 8 rolled out. Queenie immediately with a dev card there. And a pass on here. The 8 is going to be big for the table as wheat comes out here. Seb can't wait till it's their turn again. 5 blocked out. Wood shut down there. That's going to just be 1 for Merlin down here. And Merlin... That's mono for wheat. Merlin with the mono for wheat. They don't have a wheat port or anything, but I think they did trade 4-1s for a whole bunch of ore. You gotta expect a city to come down right away, but only 13 cards here. It might need to be a 4-1 of wheat just to make it happen if they need 1 more ore here. They're looking for a wheat for ore trade here as we got 1 minute on the clock here. Gans wants to give 1 ore for 2 wheat. They get it back. That should be the city here for Merlin. No, it's going to be a dev card first. Wow, a dev card and a city. It is going to go on to the 9-5-10. So the mono gets you a city and a dev card. Merlin is making some moves here. The rollout again, another 2. Queenie with another 2, but Gans hits the 6-3-12 settlement. 4 rolls out after that. And that's got to be at least 3 2s in this game. Double 4 back to back. That's going to be ore and ore for Queenie there. Same with Merlin. Merlin might be on their way to a second city nonetheless. The 7 rolls out. Merlin not having to play too many knights here. They just get control of this robber here. They move it back over onto the 8. Slow down Seb. And they're going to steal from them here. Gans slowly coming back into the game, but Merlin coming back even faster. And Merlin here on 7 cards with developments. Could be even something like the Year of Plenty to get that up. Road building would be great too. You know, potential that they could, you know, build a few more roads and start to look for the cutoffs too. Looking for sheep for wheat. Merlin now trying to get wheat after that mono. You know, Gans has got another one in there. I'm not sure if Gans will actually give it up willingly though. There's a little bit of a drought with the 8 blocks here and the recent mono, so probably not a lot of wheat out for trade. Not much on this turn for Merlin here after the last mono turn, but you have your ups and downs. Decides to hold at 7. Gans with the 7 now. I think you could rob anyone at this point. 2 dev cards here, 2 dev cards here for Queenie and Merlin. It is 5 for Seb, but no dev cards, no resources. I might even move it off of Seb at this point. I might rob Queenie and Merlin. I might slow that down. That's their ore production on the 4. I know it's not a high producing number, but you hit both of them on that one, it might be okay. And the other option is maybe block their sheep production too. Sheep for dev cards, sheep for their settlements. Not a bad spot either. Makes it a lot harder for them. I'd start to look at some of those alternative block spots. This is just that solo block on the Queenie, which does leave Merlin free to roam. Gans here, they're looking for some wheat now. Probably not too much again out there with that recent mono. It's going to be another dev card. Gans here hoping for a mono or a Year of Plenty on their own. Largest army though, you know, a couple turns here and the Seb might actually lose it. You know, Seb had tempo. They have 3, but they have no more. They have no more dev cards here. And it is going to be a steal onto the 9 here as they move it over. It's the knight over onto the 9. Slow that down. So you slow the largest army, slow the development cards. 7 again. Man, Merlin, just as they were picking up steam. The game has a way of balancing things out. 4 wood back to the bank here as Merlin has control now. Robber should move somewhere here. It's been pretty consistent here, but you know, it could probably go onto the brick too. If they are starting to look towards, you know, longest road for themselves, yeah, it does go onto the 10 brick. Longest road for themselves, settlements for themselves. Merlin here. Another city would be ideal, I think, because these extra road settles don't get them too much. So I think Merlin here, you know, try to get that city as fast as possible. Maybe keep buying dev cards too. It doesn't hurt. The 3 comes out. That's a brick. We love to see that. Gans, though, gets a little bit of that wood. You got to think it's going to come up to this ore port right away here. Still trying to look for wheat. Might still be trying to get that city down. And I'm just wondering if they 5-6 the city, or if they really do this 4-11-8 here. I wonder. Gans has made some interesting moves before, so we'll have to see. Merlin is willing to trade a brick for 2 wheat, but I'm not sure that's in the hand here, or if Gans is willing to give that up there. 2 wheat. I mean, with 2 wheat, you're looking for a couple 6s, and that's your city there. Might be better just to hold those 2 wheat for a little while. 1 mono already came out for all that wheat, and you had to trade away to get it back. Maybe just a straight across wood for brick. Seems to be a good move. Uses the knight, aggressive knight, maybe. Oh no, they go ahead and steal from Queenie. They get the road down. It is going to be the settle towards the ore port. 5 rolls out wood again for the table. 8 blocked for Queenie. Oh no, Seb hits on that one though. They should be able to build. Merlin again finds themselves with 9 cards, and the 8 again. Unfortunately, Merlin is not a part of that 8, but the Seb, this will help them out, get that sheep port down. So Merlin here with some really good production here. Moves it back over. It's going to be a steal. 10 cards for Merlin now. And you know Seb has got a whole bunch of wheat in hand after those 8s. So Merlin probably looking to steal one of those wheats and make something happen. It's going to be a brick for wood trade. One of those rare bricks, willing to give it up. Gans wants to give it with an extra ore there. I don't know if that's actually possible here. But would you give it up to Gans? I think it's still okay. I think it's still okay to trade with Gans, who's only on 3 points, 1 development card. If this gets you something big, I'd consider it. It's going to be a straight across. 1 for 1 is the trade across, Merlin and Gans. So mutual benefit there. As you know, it's just going to be a settlement here. That's just going to be the 4 points. 4-1. Gets a wheat. Merlin on 7 resources. That's the cities. Double city down for Merlin as they find themselves on 5 points and a development card. Still playing with barely any points. The 4 is rewarded right away with double ore as it comes back. Queenie now does get a little bit off of that too. There's going to be a little bit of ore there. Gans here with 8 cards after hitting on the sheep as well. So you got to think that they're pretty close to this settlement too. No, still looking for the wheat here. Really tough to get wheat for Gans here, who trades with the Seb. The Seb okay with that trade. Seb gets another ore, so they may be looking at their city finally. Seems to be a long time coming for the Seb, who got out to their lead fairly early, but is still really just on 3 points of production here, or three settlements of production, and 2 of them are on the coast. Gans with the mono ore. That was a little bit dirty, Gans. Gans with the dirty ore trade for wheat and then pulled it all back. Gets the settlement down and the city and development card. Huge turn for Gans as they come back with a big mono play. Seb rolls out 8, 6 after that. Triple wood, triple ore being rolled out on those big 6s now. Dirty play from Gans here after we saw them come back in the last game. Now all of a sudden finding themselves at 5 points. 11 comes out. That's going to be some rare wheat there. Helpful. Super helpful for Gans here. Merlin goes ahead and passes. Nothing to it there. Largest army stolen by Gans here, who's catapulted themselves within 2 turns to 7 points. The steal from Merlin now as a rare 3 hits for double wood. Gans on 8 cards now. Are you telling me there's a longest road here? Gans is probably looking at it, but they are only at 7. Longest road wouldn't get them there just yet. They do still need another settlement, so maybe they double road it out anyway, so that they have a settlement spot there. Definitely right, Puzzles. It could be that longest road. It hasn't been claimed just yet. Everybody's longest road segments, all of them at 2 right now. 2, 2, 2, and 2. 3 roads could be a quick 3 points, or 3 roads could be a quick 2 points there. The Seb starts an embargo against Gans, but it doesn't matter as another 6 rolls out again. And it's going to be a 9 for Sheep. Built says he's only 1 knight from securing army for the rest of the game. Is that true? That's going to be 5. 2, 2, and 3. It could be. The roads wrap around here, and the settle down on the 6-2 as it blocks out Merlin. That's almost a plow. Merlin rolls it out. It's an 11 resources in hand. Still a 3-1 port here for Queenie, but they get that extra wood production for themselves with that wood port. Better spot for Queenie there if they can make it happen. Merlin with a knight. That's going to be 3 for them too. So many knights played here. We have 12 knights played already. We have 12 knights played already. Gans with 1 more dev card. Queenie with 1 as well. Seb somehow has fallen way behind without the production here. And it's going to be another road settle onto the 5 here. 6 points for Merlin. Gans again rolls another 3 for extra wood here. Can they trade away for brick or make it happen? What's that 1 card for Gans? Is it a point? Not sure. Trying to give away ore wood for a wheat. Maybe we're looking for another city here, as they did roll a 6 before that robber hit. Elon's Musk, would you consider joining their Discord call to hear the table talk, or is that taboo? No, we can. We've done it before. I just haven't. We had some audio issues before, so we haven't done it too often here. And when I looked last time, there weren't too many people in the voice call, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I think only 3 of them are in there. But yeah, we can definitely check it out next time. Another 2 hits for Queenie. This is like the 4th one. I think this deserves one of these, because the 2 is only a 2.78% chance to hit, and it's hit 4 times. Pretty amazing for Queenie. Queenie has pretty much built their city off of the 2s rather than the 4s. Let's see what happens here. Queenie going 4-1. Oh, the road is taken. Queenie here at 7 points. Don't forget the 2 dev cards in there. High chance that those are actually victory points there. Merlin here, 10 cards. They got to make something happen on their turn. No devs, no surprises here though, as they have to probably even look at 1, 2, 3, 4 roads to cut off and make that plow happen. Would the table give it to Merlin? It might even be worthwhile. Could work. Built says Seb has to play both of the knights left in the deck for Gans to lose army. That's true. They have to get to 5, and they have to hope that Gans, with the two dev cards here, doesn't have another one. There's only a couple left in there, 14 in all, and what did we say? 12 were already played, so 2 more. But the Seb has no cards in hand, and neither does Merlin, both of the ones with 3, so it's pretty likely that Gans actually has it, and we've got victory points out there too. So it could be 2 VPs on Queenie to put them at 9, 2 VPs on Gans, because the monos have been played. Road building could be coming next. It's going to be roads coming down. Merlin sets down 2 and passes the 7. Gans, who do they block? I think it's got to be a block on Queenie, who's probably threatening the most right now. It is going to be the 8 wheat. Again, the solo block, the steal, 4 resource cards. This game is probably coming to a close in the next few turns. Again, seems like they're either deciding whether or not they want to play a card here. Maybe a road building. You know, it is much better when you get to steal road building. If they have 1 road, 1, 2, 3, no, not quite enough. They need 2 roads to make it happen here. and a victory point. So yeah, looking for wheat for brick. Maybe that is the trade here. But it looks like they have wheat and ore in their hand. And they're looking for wood as well. So probably unlikely. It's going to be a year of plenty. Sheep, or it's going to be another dev card bought into the hand. High chance for points. Maybe it's still another night though. We don't know. Gans here. 3 more cards. Maybe 2 points now. So the year of plenty to get the dev card. Year of plenty for the dev. The road comes down, but only 1. Seb with the roll. 9 for sheep. Never really did get to that sheep port, did we? We got the city up, but maybe a little bit too late here, as the Seb is only on 4 points now, having been in the lead for the majority of the game. Trade for wood. Every dev is good for Gans. VP, year plenty, roll building, night, all of it's good for Gans. Gans can use them all and use them to either secure largest army, build the roads out to where they need to, or steal road, or just get the resources they need. Queenie here rolls out, does hit on a double brick here for Queenie, so it's possible here that Queenie actually does build out. No, they pass it along. It's Merlin with 13 cards now. Is Merlin going around the world? Merlin might have enough now with the 13 in hand, as they get 3 wood off of that one. Now the other option is just to build up so you can actually settle and maybe still even cut off over here. I don't know how far you can make it before you get caught, but there's a settlement spot there, so they could just decide to drop the settlement and not race for the road, but you gotta think that Merlin's got to be talked into getting the road here. Trying to go 2 for 2. Seb makes the trade for the 2 sheep. That might be good for Seb anyway, and that's going to be around the world this way. We'll call that a plow. We might as well. We'll call it a plow for good time's sake. It's going to be the longest road, plowing off Queenie there, and that drops Queenie down to 5 points. 8 for Merlin here, but I think this looks good for Gans again, as Gans is not fighting for that longest road. So when your opponents are fighting for longest road and you've got largest army uncontested with possibility for points and dev cards, that seems like best case scenario. Merlin here still with 9 resources can still settle up. Absolutely can. And they're gonna go 4 to 1 here. 4 wheat for that rare brick. 6 resources. Couple more roads here would secure it for the rest of the game, and that would put a stop to, you know, pretty much everyone's questions for the longest road. But again, developing a settlement there might help out their production to get them just a little bit further. You know, they don't have the port, so it is going to have to be 3 to 1s, 4 to 1s instead of those 3 to 1s. The night comes off. It is going to be a steal down here onto the 6 wood here, and unfortunately, as the Seb was trying to get back into this game, the Seb throws it all back out into the bank. Unfortunate for the Seb, as they probably will not be able to get that settlement down onto the sheep port before this game ends. Gans here, only on 3 resources though. Game's not going to end on this one here. And that was a night, by the way. That was the night, so largest army is secured forever for the rest of the game, which means only 1 potential point here. 2 roads come down, one after the other here at the end here, as Gans is stretching for 2 more there. 2 more roads will absolutely do it, but will Merlin get it first? The settlement here is a potential here as well. That's going to be an easy point. The Seb trying to make trades happen here. Merlin wants to do it, wants to give Merlin the settlement, and that's going to be just fine. You know, give the Seb a settlement. That's only going to be 5 points for them. If you can get in on this trade, you try to get in on it as best you can. I think there was an embargo earlier on too, so there is only a couple of people to trade with. I'm not sure about embargoes, you know. I think you should always keep your options open. There it is, Sheepport activated. Let's get those chain 9s going, but man, 7s all game have been the story here, as Queenie gets hit with the robber on their own turn. And after losing longest road, after losing all prospects of largest army, What else is there for Queenie other than settling up on this 2 and trying to city up? Maybe wrap back around for another settlement spot there, but that's about it. Oh, they steal the longest road back just by building it around. I'm not sure how I feel about that, since they probably could have traded away for the settlement there. You got to think that Merlin is going to build that out at some point. 9 rolls out after the 11 here. Gans gets a couple of resources in there. Yeah, so this only goes to Queenie and Merlin. So the Seb has embargoed Gans, and the Seb can't get in on any of these trades. Not that they want to. I think Gans is potentially too far in the lead here. And so the longest road segment right now is 7. That's the max that Queenie can get to right now, unless they build 2 more roads to nowhere. But it is probably just 2 roads away for Merlin to go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 potentially at the end if he wants to. So Merlin should be able to lock this up. Gans does go 2 for 1 with Merlin, only for another dev yet. 4 rolls out here, or this game is stretched out just a little bit longer than I thought it would. The Seb here going 4 sheep, so 2 to 1, 2 to 1. Seb buys a dev card. Again, dev card getting down into the single digits here now. 9 rolls out, great for Seb here. But again, maybe just a little bit too late as Merlin is on 11, rolls it out. It's going to be Or here. Potentially steal that longest road back, settle down and maybe get a city up, toss it all up. 4 to 1 gets the wheat here. If only they had a port to make this more efficient. It's going to be a road, and the road to steal it back for 8 points. Longest road over to Merlin. Only 6 resources left after all that. Settlement's got to be looking good here, and that might be the only spot left that they have. Unless they go 2 more roads here and build this one here. They get the city down, and that was it. I was actually wondering if there were going to be 2 roads here and the settlement to cut things off a little bit here. That would have been pretty fun too. 8 rolls out, lots of wheat on the table, and Gans might have needed that one. Still looking for the settlement here. They've got 2 dev cards in hand. What's it going to be? Largest army. We're only 3 points away, and the big swings could happen. We just saw a 3-point swing from Merlin, who's on 9 right now. And all of a sudden, it looks like Merlin might be in the best spot. After getting blocked out a lot in the early game here. Now, we had thought that, you know, with this kind of production, they could wrap all the way around, connect their cities. But without that wood port, it was just a much longer way about it. Gans trying to make any trades happen. None go through the Seb. Lots of sheep in hand. Seb uses another knight. So unfortunate for them, they drew it. Which means there's a higher chance that Gans has points. Another 9 goes out. More sheep for the Seb. They should be able to do a little bit more yet. Dev cards are still okay for them. But they might even try to city up here or road settle out over there. It's going to be 2 to 1, 2 to 1 for extra ore. Maybe looking at that city. Maybe looking at the city, or a pretty good shot at getting some dev cards. But does it go that far? Merlin only on 2 resources, so unless they get some really good rolls, shouldn't be able to end the game just yet. 2 dev cards it is for the Seb, as they sit on those 2 now. But I don't think it'll give you that big comeback just yet. 9 here again as the sheep are rolling in. Queenie buys the last one. We are out of dev cards. We've got to have a scene for that when we run out of dev cards. I don't know what it is, but we gotta come up with some sort of a scene. That's a 5 rolling out for wood there. When the deck runs dry, when the deck goes empty, the entire table has played all of the cards. So we know there's 5 points in here. 2 on Gans, maybe 1 or 2 on Queenie. Maybe the Seb bought back-to-back points. Possible. 4 to 1 for Merlin, and they hold and move on. Gans hits double sheep on that. What are we looking at here? Unlikely to steal road since it's at 10 segments. Maybe it's just the settlement down, which only puts you at 8. So do you have the 2 points in hand? Does Gans call GG with the largest army? The tension, waiting. Gans has 9 cards. You gotta believe that they can do something with it. But again, no port for them other than the ore port, which I'm not sure we used very much. It is going to be 4-1 if they do trade anything here. 20 seconds on the hold here. Maybe their hand is just stuck. That was two sheep at the end there. No, 4-1. It's going to be the brick to come down. Holding the brick, 6 resources now. And I'm not sure they can steal road at any point here. It'd take a lot of roads to steal road. Settlement comes down. No win though, which means only 1 point in there. 1 point. The 10 rolls out. Seb here has a whole bunch of sheep again, but so far away from victory. So maybe it goes back to Queenie, but Queenie only had 5 points showing. And it'll go back around to Merlin here, who has a settlement spot. Wow, you know what would be crazy? Would have been the double road back to cut this off. Break up the road. I don't think you steal the road, but you cut off the longest, and it does actually leave you open here. That would have been a crazy series if there was a road building at all. Year of Plenty from Seb comes out. You know they've only got 1 point then. That means 2 and possibly 3 here. But 1 point for them, maybe 2 on Queenie, 2 on Gans here. 6 is going to be huge for ore. 4 wood there for Merlin. Can we let it get back to Merlin? Queenie goes 2-1 to the bank. Looking like City in there. No settlement for them. Queenie climbing their way up to 6. 8 rolls afterwards. Merlin, what can you do with the longest road? Game is getting close. It's going to end soon now. Now that it's 9-8. 6 on Queenie with some dev cards in there. That's it. Merlin. GG for Merlin. Longest road, 10 points. 2 coming by settlement. 6 on City is the longest road there. They dropped that one down. They had it. GG, well played. So close. 9 for Queenie, 9 for Gans. Queenie had 3 of the VPs. 1 for Gans, 1 for the Seb. Largest army stayed on Gans there. So close. Congratulations, well played. Let's check out these dice stats here. 7s all game. We knew it. 7s were huge. 9s for the sheep. Played out well, but unfortunately the Seb blocked and didn't get to that sheep. Did not get there to that sheep port. The rest seems fairly even. You know, lower on the 12s, higher on the 2s, which did get Queenie up in there with that extra ore. Resources here, again, a low game for bricks, which we knew, so that was tough. Let's check out those dev cards here. Yeah, every single one bought and played. Not played. Every single one bought anyway. Let's check it out here. Queenie had a whole bunch stolen, unfortunately. But 10-7-7. Merlin looked to be in a kind of a weaker blocked off spot after losing out on that wood port. But they managed to come back around the world. Longest road. Got their production back up. No 3-1 port either. Pretty good game. Their production though was still so good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. They end up with the best production in the game. Same with Queenie. And then the Seb here. Aside from that, you know, lots of robbing here from Queenie and the Seb. Maybe an over focus onto the Seb, who really only had 3 settlements initially and then took largest army. Blocking Queenie was required, but maybe a few more blocks onto Merlin might have been warranted. Might have been warranted there. Aside from that, resources lost by trading. Merlin made a lot of trades, but I think they were necessary trades there too. How many trades did they propose here? 27. Gans with a whole bunch of trades as well. 56 trades there, but only seeing about 12 trades actually go through in this game. Whew. I think